And yet, so often we do that very thing. It's going to be hard to convert somebody if they feel judged. And to illustrate the point, think about it this way. Jehovah's Witnesses, Salvation Army. Which one enjoys a better reputation by the world at large? I think most of us would agree it's the Salvation Army. Jehovah's Witnesses do not enjoy a good reputation from the world around them. And the reason is because they're by and large isolated, and the only thing we even know about them is they knock on our door and try to convert us into becoming Jehovah's Witnesses. And no one really likes somebody to knock on their door unannounced, much less if the reason I'm knocking is to try and talk you into becoming something I don't want to be in the first place. Meanwhile, Salvation Army enjoys a great reputation throughout the world. Did you know both of them are churches? Salvation Army is a church. And what you might not know is that Salvation Army thinks women can preach just the same way men can preach. They specifically don't take the Lord's Supper, but I think once a year, claiming that if you took it with regularity, it would become an empty ritual. Well, there's some danger when we do take the Lord's Supper that we're not thinking about it the way we ought to. But we take the Lord's Supper on the first day of the week because God told us to. And they certainly don't believe baptism washes away sins. Well, guess what? They're so good at following the second law, love your neighbor as yourself, that no one wants to hear what I just said. And no one, or I should say most people get mad at me for even pointing out how horribly they follow the first law. Love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. While I will continue to blow the trumpet about their failing with the first law, their commitment to the second law is most admirable. I don't know if you've thought about this, but notice how leaven is built right into the spread of the church. Acts chapter 1 and verse 8 says the church will begin in Jerusalem, spread to Judea, then to Samaria, and then to the uttermost parts of the world. That's how leaven spreads. Do you realize you and I, we reenact Pentecost on the first day of every week? We all come from different neighborhoods and different communities to the building. We learn Christianity and worship God in spirit and in truth. But then we go back home to our own communities where we are supposed to be the leaven in that community. A man's wisdom makes his face shine, and the sternness of his face is changed. And as Paul said, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good day. God bless you, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.